What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Charlie Talks Business channel. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can reduce your payroll for your business so much that it basically feels illegal. Now, I know a lot of business owners, and one of the biggest things, right? If you're a business owner watching this, you know that payroll is tough. It's where the majority of businesses spend most of their money. It's a lot of outflow. Of course, your team is amazing. They help you make money. But in terms of the business, like payroll's always a huge, huge portion of most businesses' expenses. And so as a business owner yourself, one of the things that you should always be doing is thinking, how can I actually optimize this number? And by optimize, I mean either reduce the average payroll per person or per output, right? You could increase your payroll, but if you're getting really high returns and way more efficiency by introducing another person, then that could be considered a smart move. So not always about reducing, but I mean, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you guys can basically reduce your payroll by a lot. And I mean a lot. So let me get my iPad to start recording. Okay. So payroll. Awesome. The first thing that you should know is that you can always optimize your payroll. There's always stuff that you can do as the business owner to reduce expenses. And of course, payroll being one of the biggest expenses probably for your business, that should be a place where you focus a good amount of your attention and energy, right? If you can, let's say, reduce payroll by 50% while maintaining the same output, or keeping payroll the same but having twice as many people, well, I think that's a big, big win. It allows you to fulfill more. It allows you to try new projects and new things that may not generate revenue at the start, but could really grow your business in the future. There's a lot of good things about having more manpower on your team. So the first thing I always tell people is you should try to consolidate talent. That doesn't mean you're adding talent. It means you're actually maybe reducing the amount of people that you have on your team. So depending on how, how much experience you have building your business, you might have some people on your team, some team players that are just not that useful. And it doesn't sound good to say it like that, but there's probably some inefficiencies with your team currently. And you might have people working on similar things that overlap, things that aren't that relevant to your business. They could be working really inefficiently. And so the first question I always ask people is do you need everyone that's currently on your team? If no, then you should absolutely think about maybe consolidating, letting them go do something else that's more productive. And that obviously is a very quick way of reducing your payroll. Obviously, it doesn't apply to most of you guys because you probably already hired somewhat correctly, and your team members are probably all doing something that's at least somewhat important. And so if that doesn't apply to you, fire anyone? Oh my God, I can't even write. Fire anyone. If no, then think about this, right? Think about using different tools, using AI to maximizing the output per person. So obviously you can have a bigger team that does less, or a bigger team that does more. And so if you actually compare different companies, you can have a company like company A, let's say company A versus company B. Let's say company A has 5 people and company B has 8 people, right? If the output of company A is, let's just use units, right? Let's say 10 units. And the output of company B is, let's say, 12 units. Then if you look at this and we look at the units of output per person, it's going to be 2 units per person. Whereas the same thing over here, it's going to be what, 1.5 units per person. And what I find is like, actually, as you increase the number of people, this number tends to drop down a little bit, which is totally okay. It's totally normal. One reason is because you need more managers, and more people, gets more complicated. But yeah, if you look at these two companies, 5 people doing 10 units of output is definitely better than 8 people doing 12 units of output. But the thing is that this company, they could actually do a bunch of different things probably to, get these 8 people to do, let's say, 16 units. Or they could consolidate and have, let's say, 6 people that output 12 units, right? Same units of output per person. And so what works for your business, obviously, it's going to depend. It's going to depend like how big you want your team to be, how much output you want. But always think about things in terms of output per person, because efficiency, optimization, that's a big thing. And I want you guys all to have companies where each person is working extremely efficiently. Their output is basically not to the very, very max, because obviously that's going to burn people out. But to a point where it's like, okay, this person's doing some serious work, serious output, serious fulfillment, whatever it is for your business. One way that we can actually do this, so let me actually erase all this. One way that we can actually increase the output per person is by hiring an AI implementer. Okay, so this is going to be a person that is a nerd. Okay, and they're good at computers and stuff. And this person, their whole job is to go into your company. So all these different people, they probably have systems, processes, whatever, workflows. They're going to go in and talk to each of these people, and they're going to ask, what can I build to make your life easier? And you might be thinking, well, okay, if their life is easier, they're just going to work less. But no, if you have good team members, they're going to find other things to do. And it's just really going to increase the bar of efficiency in your company. So this person basically goes through, builds AI workflows, AI automations, whatever, anything that relates to automating something, and builds things for these respective people, right? It could be for departments, whatever. And the whole point of this person, and yes, I have an AI implementer on my team. He's full-time. He's actually in China. The whole point of this is to increase the output per person of your team. It also reduces mundane work. You don't want your team, you don't want your smart team members doing really repetitive tasks that can easily be automated. So with all this new tech that's coming out, you should seriously be doing this, because it's going to make your business run a lot smoother. Our AI implementer has built a bunch of really cool stuff that has definitely made the business run more like a, well-oiled machine. And that's really, really cool. So this is definitely something you guys should do. Hire a person like this that's full-time or part-time or whatever, depends on the size of your business, that does this, right? I don't have time basically staying up to date on all the new AI tech, learning N8N, like an expert, building all these different things for my company. I hired someone that's way better at it than me, and their whole job and purpose is to learn stuff, build it, implement it, also identify what should be built, right? That takes effort. And then, yeah, it's been really, really cool. I highly, highly recommend you guys get an AI implementer. So let me erase this. Next thing is going to be, okay, so your talents. If you're watching this video, you've seen any of my other stuff, you probably know that I have an overseas recruiting company called Paired. We started this almost 3 years ago, actually. It's been an amazing business, extremely great like client results and testimonials. And it's something that me and my co-founder, like we actually built the company because for our other businesses, we heavily use overseas talent. And we're like, this is such a big cheat code. I feel like everyone needs to be doing this in their business. If they're not, they're just basically overpaying, right? So the whole point of this video is to help you guys reduce your payroll. And payroll, right? It's salaries. It's whatever you're paying your team. And so the number one way to actually reduce this is to start looking for talent in other countries. You might be thinking, oh, what if I just look for other people in the US or wherever and replace my current team members and like pay less for them, right? If I can get if I'm currently paying $6K a month for someone and I find someone else, pay them $4K a month, I'm saving $2K. But that is a short-term fix because one, this $4K per month person is probably not that good. Two, they're gonna want raises, right? And it's gonna get back to $6K at some point. You're also firing someone that is on your team that's done like good work for you. That's not that cool. And yeah, like 4K per month is not a great salary. It's not going to get you someone with a lot of experience and with a lot of skill, let's say in the US. Once that person gains that skill, that experience, they're going to be worth more and more and more. And let's say it creeps all the way up to 8 to 10K per month, right? Because if you train someone correctly in the US and they're doing like a high impact thing, their worth is going to keep going up, and it's going to keep going up and until a point where it's like you're paying, let's say $10,000 per month. Now, that same $10,000 per month person is going to be, let's say, 2 to 2.5K per month in Indonesia or Latin America. The thing is, like, the buying power in these countries is so completely different that you have a person making, let's say, 10K per month in LA or New York City. They have the same buying power, same quality of life as, it's not going to be an exact comparison, but I'm going to probably say 1.2K per month in Indonesia. And Indonesia is where we do a lot of our hiring because my company Paired's based there actually. Most of my team members are actually from Indonesia. I love them. And so if you look at this, 10K to 1.2K per month, the fact that these two people have the same quality of life is absolutely insane because you are literally paying like what, 8 times more for the LA, New York City person than the person in Indonesia. And with the world getting more global and globalization and all that stuff, AI, people in these other countries are super Western. They watch a lot of like US content, movies, whatever, social media. AI really bridges the gap. So if there's any English differences, like differences in their English skill, that can easily be bridged with AI now. And so you guys need to be focusing on hiring in other countries. I'm not gonna like talk too much about how to hire in this video, but just know that like hopefully this explanation shows you why it doesn't make any sense to keep hiring in the US for, I'd say, 80 to 90% of positions. Almost everything can be outsourced to someone in a different country, and there are people that are extremely intelligent, extremely educated in other countries. The only difference is that they live in a place with a much lower cost of living, COL. So being in America, you guys should take advantage of that. People always say like, you're underpaying them, you're underpaying them. Well, it's a win-win. They're getting a job that pays super good, and you are also saving money in payroll. So it just doesn't make any sense. You guys should identify what new positions you can add onto your team to basically be able to use overseas talent. Gradually incorporate those people into your business. Do not just get rid of all your US talent, because that's going to kill your business. But as you expand, start to implement overseas talent. It's going to reduce the average cost per person, the average cost per unit of output, and just make your business run a whole lot more efficiently. My business is only able to run the way it does because of my overseas talent. The media business has over 50 people, and I don't know, just take it from me, guys. I've worked with so many overseas talent. They are amazing, and you absolutely need to try it. Use our company, use whoever, find people yourself. I don't really care, but please consider and try using overseas talent. You will not regret it. Okay, next thing I want to talk about, and this sort of relates to the efficiency per person, but you need better tools. So tools, yes, you can get tools to replace people. You can get tools to make your current team perform a lot better. The things you need to actively be thinking about this as a business owner, because there's always new tools coming out. There are some really great tools that I have used that greatly improve the efficiency of my business. And of course, it's going to completely depend on what type of business you have. I'm just going to talk about one tool. It's Go High Level. So this is basically the CRM, the task management system that I use for every single one of my businesses. It basically powers like the back end of all these businesses. And if you implement tools like this into your business, you're going to be able to increase the efficiency per person. You're going to be able to have a smoother running company. And so that's just all going to work together to reduce your payroll. But essentially in high level, like I'm building automations, I'm building workflows. This is my CRM. So all my clients, they come through here, they get put into different, like, let's say email campaigns, automations, different workflows. What else do we have? You can build landing pages. We've built a bunch of landing pages in high level. And what else? There's a bunch of other stuff. Outreach, fulfillments, like contracts. Basically, the list goes on. So you want to find tools sort of like high level that you can implement into your business, because that's going to make it, like I said, a lot better. And that's all I'm going to say about tools. Just know that you as the business owner should always be thinking about the best tools to have, right? Tools are kind of like your team members, honestly. And if you have bad tools, you're going to have a bad team, a bad business. So definitely get better tools. And then the next thing I want to talk about, management structure. So different companies are going to have different required structures. And I'm not going to say required because, different structures work for different companies, even though the same niche or industry. But I want you guys to think about how your company is structured and if it's actually optimized, right? Everything basically comes down to optimization. Is this the best route, the best way to do it? And so if you have a really messy management structure, something that, let's say it's you have two people here, and you have And then this person has like 5 people that they are managing. This person only has 1. You know, like this person doesn't manage anyone. This person, right? Like look at the structure of your company and think, does this make any sense? Like why is this person managing so many people when this person is managing just 1 person? Like, can these people be combined into 1 person? Should this person be managing 3 people, or should they be doing something else? Is there someone better for this role that's managing these 3 people so that this person can be doing something else, right? Shifting people. Look at this. What you'll probably find is that there are some things you guys can tweak to either consolidate or add more people. So that's not technically reducing your payroll, but it's definitely reducing your cost per output, cost per person. And I think this is something that not that many people think about, but can actually make a huge impact. And it can also influence your hiring decisions. So definitely think about your management structure. Those are some of the things. I think we covered 5 different things on how you guys can actually reduce your payroll. If you guys implement these things, like I guarantee you're going to see some big results, especially the overseas talent one. Like that is absolutely massive. And yeah, hopefully this video helps you guys be able to build your business a little better. We all want more profit at the end of the day because that just means that there's more reward for taking the risks to build our business, for running the business, all the stress and stuff. And so yeah, always making more money is always better than making less money. And if you don't want to take the money out of your business, having more profit allows you to invest into, let's say, more people, more projects, try other things, whatever it is, more toys, whatever. So hopefully you guys got some value from this video. Comment any questions you have down below. Please follow this channel if you want to have watch more videos like this. It's just going to be very raw videos where I just teach things. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.